Hi, good morning, all of you. अरे जलसा महेश भाई. Hello everyone. Hello. So now, friends, what was the last topic? Yeah, Rishabh, because of yesterday. Yeah. Okay, Manu. Uh, Correct, Jay. Global public goods. Correct. Now, do you remember the topics that we have covered yesterday, friends? We started with market failure. In market failure, the first topic that we covered was market power. Second one was externalities. Then it was public goods. Yesterday in public goods, we understood many topics like meaning and characteristics of private goods, meaning and characteristics of public goods, free rider problem, common access resources, classification of goods, quasi public goods, and the last topic, global public goods. Right? So till here we have completed. Jay, you can ask that in doubt solving, no problem today. So friends, let's begin now. Going to share a screen with you. Yes, Lakshay. The next topic that we are going to understand, incomplete information. Also termed as imperfect information. Two things we are having, or two names rather we are having, but the meaning is the same. So in imperfect information, it means wrong information is being passed. Now it can be from either seller to buyer, or it can also be from buyer to seller. Do you agree to this? Now, there are three things which we need to understand. First one, it is called as asymmetric information. Now, what is the meaning of asymmetric information? It is difference in information. Okay. One person is having a higher knowledge and the other person is having lower knowledge. So a person with higher knowledge tries to exploit the person with lower knowledge. It is called as asymmetric information. Understood? Okay. So please write down. if there is imbalance in information. Which means either buyer has more information than seller, or seller has more knowledge than buyer. The person with more information or knowledge tries to exploit person with less information or knowledge. It is called as asymmetric information. Now, whenever a person is having more knowledge, the other person is having less knowledge, they will try to exploit. Now, if that exploitation happens in one or two cases, it is still understood. But if it's, let's suppose, having a mass impact, what will happen, good products will move out of the market. Only the bad ones will remain. The nice product, the better products go out of the market. And we are left with no other option but to select only the worst products. So for example, if let's suppose one person wants to buy a car, a second hand car. Now when I am having one second hand car, let's suppose I had one car, Swift, Maruti Suzuki Swift. I purchased in 2010. Now in 2010, I had purchased, and after that, I have used it very roughly, very badly, because that was my first car. So many accidents I have seen, many scratches, right? Here and there, all the wear and tear we have seen. We have taken it to a rough drive. Now, when I want to sell this, will I disclose the entire information? The potential buyer comes and checks the car. I will, keep it spick and span, get it washed, polished, very clean, decent looking car. Right? So when that person arrives, I would say this is the best car in my life. I could never imagine my life without this. I have kept it like a baby. It's just that I was a bad parent and then I did not disclose that. I was a parent who can hit baby at any given point of time at anywhere. But I did not disclose that. So I say all the wrong information. Then that person would ask, then why are you selling, sir? Because I am shifting to Canada. So no one is here to look at this baby. So I thought it should be in the right hands. So the person feels, the seller is genuine. It is only then when he starts using, he will come to realize that a big scam has happened with him. Am I right? So if everyone does this, friends, only the wrong cars will remain in the market and good cars will exit the market. The best brands will not be there, right? If Renault comes in India and says, I am selling the best cars, if Datsun comes and says, I am selling the best car, Nissan comes and says, I am selling the best cars. So Honda, Hyundai, Toyota, General Motors, Volkswagen will have to leave the Indian markets. Because if wrong companies start claiming that they are selling the good products, the bad product prevails in the market and the good products will exit the market. So we are left with only the bad ones. This is called as adverse selection. So because of misinformation between buyers and sellers, when good products, nice ones, leave the market, only bad one prevails. So we are left with only bad choices. So our selection will be adverse, right? So that is called as adverse selection. Understood the meaning of adverse selection? Point number 2. Adverse selection. Please write down that. Due to asymmetric information, due to asymmetric information, only bad goods will remain in the market and good quality products will exit the market, leaving us with only poor choices. It is called as adverse selection. Oh, Rishabh. Rishabh is asking, sir, how can buyer have more knowledge than the seller? When you wish to buy insurance, correct? So at the time of buying insurance, they ask you different questions. Do you smoke? Do you consume alcohol? A smoker as well as an alcoholic puts a no. Wrong information, correct? Mm. You will understand, Ankita, now. Okay. Next. Now, if we are left with, okay, one more thing here. This adverse selection point, it is also called as Lemon's problem. So in your examination, if they ask the question lemons problem, remember you have to write adverse selection only. Okay. And those who are asking for examples, first understand the concept. You will definitely understand more examples I'm going to give you. Now, once you have left, you are left with only bad products in the market, adverse selection. What else do we have now? To select only bad products, correct? Now, if we select only wrong products in the market, what will happen to our productivity? What will happen to our health? What will happen to our peace of mind? It will be disturbed. And if that is disturbed, don't you think it will be moral hazard? That is nothing but market failure, right? So all these things, disturbance in peace of mind, disturbance in productivity, right? It is called as what? It is called as moral hazard. Please write down the next point. Third point in this is called as moral hazard. Moral hazard refers to a situation where people buy wrong products due to adverse selection. Due to adverse selection. Manvi, please check page number 2.42. There also they have used the same terminology. So interchangeably it is related. That's why they can use it in both the cases. Moral hazard refers to a situation where people buy wrong products due to adverse selection, which leads to decline in productivity, peace of mind, and ultimately wastage of resources, which results into market failure. Done? Now we are going to discuss examples in order to understand all the three parts very, very, very nicely. Let's have a look at it how.
ये तो बहुत खतरनाक स्टंट है। पता नहीं आपको डर कैसे नहीं लगता। डर सबको लगता है, गला सबका सूखता है, पर डर से डरोगे तो कुछ बड़ा कैसे करोगे? तो ड्यू उठाओ और डर को पी जाओ।
Did you check the distance? His name is Hrithik Roshan. Redefining physics.
Mountain Dew. डर के आगे जी.
Okay. Your exams are coming in few months. And you come and tell me, sir, I'm very scared about my preparation. Please help. I will give you one Mountain Dew. Why? डर के आगे जीत है. Don't worry, drink dew, you will pass. Like, they must have spent crores of rupees on this advertisement, I'm sure. Once they did not think, it's okay, let's accept Hrithik Roshan has reached there. How will he come back? Right? So for that, we will have to call Salmon Boy to bring that helicopter in which he lifts the, you know what? That thumbs up truck. Now, this is wrong information which is passed from the seller to the buyer. Correct? The seller is having a higher knowledge as compared to buyer. Do you agree to this? So they are basically trying to exploit our choices. Yes or no? So that is asymmetric information. Am I right or no? Is it a good product or a bad product? It's a worst product loaded with only one thing, and that is sugar. Okay. Now, friends, is this our traditional Indian drink? Our traditional Indian drinks: lime juice, kokum juice, coconut water, buttermilk. All these are traditional Indian drinks. Today, for getting lime juice or kokum juice, you will have to go from place to place. You will not be able to find. But this one is easily sold in the market. Bad products have replaced the good products in the market. Adverse selection. Ankita, did you understand now? Now today, if you are thirsty students, if you are feeling very hot, now because we don't have the good products in place in the market, we are left with no other choice but to go for these aerated drinks. And that is where the problems like obesity, thyroid, cancer all take into play. Now, let's say 50 years back, India has ever heard about cancer? Did India knew what is diabetes? Did India knew what is thyroid? Ask your grandparents. Did they face any kind of problems like this? No, we are living in an artificial, we are living in an artificial world which is created by these buggers just to make more and more profits. They go on selling all these products. And because we get affected from advertisement from all these stupid actors which they are doing. Now, recently I was watching Olympics and suddenly in between, Shah Rukh Khan and Ajay Devgan comes and says, Bolo Zuban Kesari. Right? You are a responsible citizen of this country, and not only responsible, you are parents. Right? Think about it. If your kids start, eating Vimal, comes to you and say, yeah, Papa, I'm going to gym, okay? Or bro. Right. So for some people, I don't know why they treat actors as if they are gods. Actors don't even know you exist on this planet. Okay. So when these companies sell wrong products, good products go out of the market and we are left with only adverse choices. Understood this part? 100%. I'll show you one more example so that we understand this very nicely.
Shot ready.
आपसे नहीं हो रहा है। अब आप रिटायर हो जाइए और घर पे बैठ के अपनी बीवी बच्चों का मेकअप कीजिए।
जब दिल को कुछ छू जाए, दर्द हद से।
Look at this girl carefully, okay? Just look at this girl. Now we are having an opportunity to see her hands here, face and neck. Just see this part.
बढ़ जाए।
आपने उसे स्टार बनाया ऐसे ऐसे और कितनी
Captions. Just 1 second. I will check out the captions.
गाली खाएंगे आप। मेरा मेकअप कीजिए। मुझे स्टार बनाइए।
Where do we have the caption option? I don't know. No caption, no. It's not there in this video. No problem. I will narrate you in English. Don't worry. Basically, this is the girl who is disappointed from her father because the father is doing makeup of all the girls in the market and he is not disclosing that you should be using Fair and Lovely beta for 25 years of his life. Okay. Now, how selfish father? Let's have a look at it. Now the girl is crying that Papa, you should do my makeup. No, you do it to everyone. Okay. Earlier, her job was to just give tiffin from one place to another. Now she wants to get the makeup done. Okay. That's the basic idea.
स्टार बनना है तो इसकी जरूरत नहीं, मेकअप तो चुटकी में निकल जाता है। मेरी बेटी को वो खूबसूरती चाहिए जो हमेशा साथ दे।
दिल में है जो जुनून तो
मेकअप मैन की बेटी है ना।
जुनून हो हमेशा, जरा सा बदल के बदल दो।
Did you look at the neck and the hands? I have 2-3 questions here. Okay. Number one. It's okay. The girl wanted to go great in life. So, she asked her father that why don't you do my makeup? But understand how selfish father. For 25 years of her life, he did not tell her that you can use Fair and Lovely beta in order to get a fairer skin. She was also not aware about it. How cute. On the contrary, okay, now a normal person like you and me, if you, let's suppose if you are convinced with this ad and if you buy Fair and Lovely, where will you apply? On this 10 by 15 face only, no? Right? And just imagine if what they are saying happens to be true. You apply Fair and Lovely here, it becomes fairer and remaining skin is dark. Don't you think we will look like owl? Right? This girl is completely different. She took the Fair and Lovely bath every day, maybe. Neck also became white. Hands also became like, how can you rub Fair and Lovely here? I don't understand. Are you understanding this? Now imagine.
And the award goes to Miss Priya.
ये नाम, ये फेम बस एक चुटकी में निकल जाते हैं। शुक्र है कुछ चीजें हमेशा साथ रहती हैं।
फेयर एंड लवली, खूबसूरती हमेशा।
Wrong information is being passed from sellers to buyers. Yes or no? Asymmetric information. If you ask your grandparents, if you are having any skin trouble, they will always say apply multani mitti, apply chandan, apply turmeric or orange coconut oil. Correct? Besan, aloe vera gel. Now all these things they will ask you to apply. Am I right? Friends, tell me one thing. All these things today are difficult to find in the market. Fair and Lovely you can find in every hook and corner, every store you will find. Today, if you want to get Multani Matti, you will have to go places to places in order to find that. Aloe vera gel will not be easily available in the market. So these bad products have already replaced the good products in the market. Do you agree to this or no? Because of which people end up using these products, then they get skin diseases, then they get wrinkles, different kind of skin problems, skin allergies. Right? All these problems result into moral hazard. I hope you are very clear in this part. Friends, that completes our entire unit number 2. Yes, Someshwar. So that was our incomplete information that we have studied today. In this, we were having 3 points: asymmetric information, adverse selection, and moral hazard. I hope you are very clear in these points. That completes our entire unit number 2. Now let's begin with the next part, friends. That is our unit number 3. Please give heading unit number 3. Name of that unit is government intervention. Government intervention in market failure. In the market failure. Now, it's a huge topic, students, by the way. Let's talk about this topic now. First thing that we are going to understand here, it is government intervention. I'm using short form, students, because this is going to be repetitive. You can also use that. Government intervention to reduce market power. Government intervention in case of externalities. Government intervention in merit goods and demerit goods. Government intervention in public goods. Price intervention in non-market pricing. Price intervention in non-market pricing. Government intervention to reduce inequalities and in case of incomplete information. Price intervention in non-market pricing. Done, friends? Done till here, everyone? Oh. Now, friends, when we are talking about government intervention, basically what is it? It is nothing but the solution to the problems that we have already discussed in our unit number 2. So unit number 2 was entirely problems. Now unit number 3 is focusing on the solutions to the problem. Okay, so let's begin. When we are talking about government intervention, this is just a basic introduction part. When we are talking about government intervention, there can be two types of intervention, friend. What are these two types of interventions? Either it can be direct intervention or it can be indirect intervention. Okay. Now, what do you mean by direct and indirect intervention? Should see this. Direct will be further classified into two parts, indirect also classified into two parts. Direct intervention means it will be a direct restriction on buyer or on seller. That means government will straight away say, hey, you don't buy. Government will directly say to the seller, don't sell. So when there is direct intervention on the buyer, strict ban directly on the seller, that is called as direct intervention. Right? Correct, Sai. Correct, Vishal. Next one, indirect. In indirect, government will not put a direct ban, but will try to influence your choices. Can request you, can influence you by giving some disincentives. Right? So in that case, yes, Rishabh. In that case, students, the first part in indirect control will be taxes and subsidies. And second one would be regulations or influence. If government doesn't want you to buy a particular product, government will ask you to pay higher level of tax, that will be taxes. If government wants you to buy more of a product, then government will give you subsidies. If government wants to have this product to only for the limited audience, it will put an age limit for that. That is a regulation. And it will also try to influence our choices by showing various advertisements. So all these things that are done, friends, are either direct or indirect intervention. Are you comfortable with this? Okay, let's go ahead. Please give the next heading, government intervention. Government intervention. To minimize market power. To minimize market power. I will show you the previous page, don't worry. Okay. Friends, market power is nothing but monopoly power. And monopoly in the hands of anyone will definitely result into market failure. If it is there with the private sector, then it brings greed, it brings profit maximization motto. Am I right? And if it is there with government, it brings unnecessary delay, inefficiency. So monopoly is always bad or inefficient, I would say. However, that nowhere means that monopoly should not be there, but it should be there in a restrictive manner. So what are the actions which will be taken in case of monopoly power, in case of market power? So that the existing monopolies, they don't exploit the consumers. And government will keep a close watch on everyone so that, people don't just create their monopoly and start exploiting the consumers. So both ways government will try to intervene. Now, what are the various intervention techniques which are used by government? That we need to understand one by one. So friends, there are some policies that we are going to discuss. There are some rules and regulations. I will give you the head point. In that head point, whatever 2 to 3 lines you feel good enough, you can add it in your own language. No problem at all, and answer will be taken care of. Okay, please write down first point. Policies made by government. Policies made by government. Rishabh, exploitation will also increase, no then? Just excuse me 1 minute. Okay. So what are the various policies which are made by government? Are you aware about competition policy? You know, you must have understood Competition Act, right? So when we talk about policy, let's say there is one policy which is called as competition policy. Yes, CCI, correct. And after that, we have some policy which is called as mergers and acquisition policy also. Okay. Now, what is this mergers and acquisition policy, or what is this competition policy, everything? See, let me help you with one example. Fair competition is something which even government promotes. Unfair competition is something which even government says they are not interested in. Mergers and acquisition. For that also various governments have made their policies, because if companies go on merging, they will be in a position to create their own monopoly power. The recent and the biggest example, if I want to give you, there is a company called as Aeon. You must have seen Aeon on the football jersey, because in India it is not present, right? And Aeon and Willis Towers Watson, these two companies were planning to merge. Now that merger was not allowed by US government. What is that policy? Mergers and acquisition policy. If you remember, I had shared this example with you, right? After that, friends, when Jio entered into Indian market, many other companies collapsed. Now, if let's suppose Jio and Airtel wants to merge, will government allow that? No. Under what? Under mergers and acquisition policy. Imagine if Flipkart and Amazon think of merging. Zomato and Swiggy think of merging. If they go on merging, friends, don't you think they will be creating monopoly? Then they will start exploiting the consumer, right? Now Rishabh is asking, sir, even if they merge, government can charge higher taxes, no? So it is benefit for the people only. but the level of exploitation which is done by this company will be much more than the benefit that is given. So we cannot take that for granted, right? So all these things, friends, are part of mergers and acquisition policy. Point number 2. This is a very interesting point. Point number 2, market liberalization. Someshwar, did it create monopoly in the market? So it will restrict only when it creates. Market liberalization. Now, what do you mean by market liberalization? Now, let's suppose if there is a company which is having monopoly in Indian market, no competition at all. What will Indian government do? Liberate, open up the Indian market so that foreign companies can also come. So when foreign companies come, automatically the Indian company dominating or exploiting the consumer will reduce the impact because of competition. So many a times we use market liberalization if there is inefficiency. Okay. I'll give you example of Air India in this case. When Air India was having monopoly in Indian market with no other entity, government liberalized the aviation sector, no? So that Air India can become efficient. On the contrary, it became even more inefficient. Okay. So what to say now? Third point, price cap and price regulation. Yes, Ronak, it doesn't matter whether it is government or private. Yes, Sai, that's true. Price cap and price regulation. What do you mean by price cap? It is maximum price. So how much maximum price should be kept for a particular product or for a particular service? That will be decided by the government. So that is called as price cap. Metro. In Chennai, we are having metro, right? Yeah, and it is working very efficiently, I think. Yeah, I don't think I have used Chennai metro. Is this the card? Not Chennai, no? Hyderabad, is it? So some card I have, I don't remember because it just says don't crush or fold the card. So some card I have kept. Okay, blue color card you have. Okay, nice. So now this card is given by the metro services. Friends, tell me one thing. Now they are having monopoly, right? Metro services. So they can keep any price. Am I right? They can keep any price, no? But are they allowed to? Why? Because government puts a price cap. That is the maximum price that you can charge in a metro will be fixed by government. Understood? If you are traveling from Hyderabad to Chennai by road, in between there will be many toll plazas, right? So now that toll plaza, if you want to use that road, can I say again there is a monopoly? You can't say no, I am taking the car, but I don't wish to pay for it. They will say get lost, right? So in this case, but if they are having monopoly, they can charge any price, no? But the answer is no. Why? Because government has kept a price regulation there. What is price regulation? They will go on changing the price, let's say every 5 years. So every 5 years, they can increase the toll price by 5 rupees. This is price regulation. And fixing the maximum price is nothing but the price cap. So you can write the example, student, so that you remember it. Metro is price cap, toll naka or toll plazas are nothing but price regulation. Point number 4, dear friends. It is profit or rate of return regulation. Profit or rate of return regulation. Government will decide your profit percentage, how much maximum profit you can make. How much rate of return can you charge or you can get maximum on the products that you are selling. Adar Poonawalla in 2020 became a very common name. The head of Serum Institute of India, who got the monopoly of producing COVID vaccine in India. Now, when that was done, they could have easily got a higher level of profit, higher rate of return on their investment. Yes or no? But government said, sorry, you're not allowed to do that. You can earn only a limited amount of profit. So government sets your profit margin. Government sets the rate of returns that you should be getting. In case of monopoly only, it can happen. Okay. Next one. Reduction in import controls. Reduction in import controls. Now, what do you mean by this? Right now, let's suppose we have restricted the imports. Restricted the imports, that means we are controlling imports, yes or no? But because of that control of imports, the monopoly is increasing in India. So what to do? Reduce the controls. So when you reduce the controls and move towards more imports, that will increase the market coming in, or it will increase the goods and services flowing in the market. So if that happens, friends, what will happen? Automatically the monopoly will be lost and we will be having more number of players or more number of goods availability in the country. Understood, friends, nicely. Last point. Nationalization. Nationalization. Now, what is nationalization? Government will take it over. The first airline in India is Tata Airlines, which became Air India. Yes or no? Now it became Air India because government did not want Tata to exploit the consumers. They were not exploiting the consumers, but because government was very futuristic, that I don't want private sector to have the monopoly power. That's why they kept that with the government itself. Very good example, Vishal. RBI was nationalized. Earlier, RBI was also just any other commercial bank, but today it is nationalized. Banks were nationalized, correct? Many commercial banks were nationalized. So whenever you are running an organization which has a strong monopoly power, government will start owning that. So that is called as nationalization. I hope you are very clear in these 6 points. Individually, these points will not come. So don't worry about it. But they will be just asking you the head point, how government will intervene in case of market power. And all these points you will have to explain in 1 or 2 lines. Any doubts here? Market liberalization network issue. Open up the market so that there is no import, there is no monopoly in the market. That is what it means. Okay. Let's go ahead now, friends. Second point, please give the heading very exciting topic and one of the major topics of what we are going to understand today. Government intervention to correct externalities. Now, when we are talking about externalities, there are two types of externalities. One is negative externalities. Number two is positive externalities. Negative externalities and positive externalities. Now tell me one thing, when will government intervene? In case of negative, in case of positive, or in case of both? Well, the correct answer is both. Why? See, in negative externality, government will stop you from spreading it. But at the same time, don't you think positive externality should also get support? See, intervention doesn't necessarily mean it will only deteriorate the company or it will degrade the company. It can also work towards promotion of a company, yes or no? So when we are talking about government intervention, so the companies which are doing negative externality, government will try to stop them. And if the companies are having positive externality, government will try to promote them. So in case of negative externality, discourage. But in case of positive externality, please do encourage. So both these things have to be done. That is called as government intervention to correct externalities. Now, when we talk about externalities here, how is government going to react in case of negative externalities? Let's talk about that. So in case of negative externalities, there are three different cases that government can adopt. Number one is ban, prohibition, or restriction. Yes, Jay. Second one is pollution tax. Now, pollution tax is also called as Pigouvian tax, because this concept was given by Professor A.C. Pigou. So it is also called as Pigouvian tax. Third one and last one. It is called as tradable emissions permit. Tradable emissions permit. Yes, Someshwar. Tradable emissions permit, friends, it is also called as cap and trade system. So there are these three things. One is complete ban. Ban is nothing but prohibition or restriction. Then we have pollution tax. And lastly, we have tradable emissions permit. Now, quickly, friends, please understand. Has government banned anything which was causing negative externality? Yes, Pratham. Okay, I can see many of you are saying plastic ban. Correct. Plastic is banned, students, because it is creating a huge impact on our environment, especially what we can see now happening with the oceans. When we look at the landslides, our future generation is definitely going to thank us for not leaving anything for them and exploiting everything today. And I feel we are the only generations we have done that. Right? After industrializations, the way we have exploited the entire environment. Correct? Now, you are aware about in 2019, Article 370. Correct? Now, in that case, Jammu and Kashmir was also liberated. And it will also be treated as similar to how all other states and union territories are treated. That is the norm which is implemented. Are you aware about it or no? You are. Okay. So I read a post somewhere. Now, no more terrorism in Kashmir, only industrialization and development. I was very happy with the first part of the statement. No more terrorism in Kashmir. That's a very good part. But that doesn't mean that we have to start another way of terrorizing the same state by putting more industries into that. See, development is one aspect. I think industrialization is important for growth. I don't deny the fact. But it has to be centralized. Like how we have MIDC or how we have SEZ. Similarly, some sector, some part of the state should be kept for that. This is, however, my opinion. It might be true, it might not be true, but this is just what I feel. So in Kashmir also, if that is happening, that is going to destroy the beauty of a particular state, right? So let's see now what is the norm which is restricted or uplifted there. However, coming back to this thing, so there are many things apart from plastic that government has banned. Okay, like we see PUBG ban. You are saying once, yeah, PUBG was banned. I think one more thing, TikTok was banned. Thank God it was banned, or else people were changing their gender so frequently. Okay, it was really having a worse impact. You know that I once saw one gentleman who came to my place, and I was looking at him. He was having his entire color, hair color as pink. That was the day, students, I stopped eating candy floss forever. And I saw people are, going and asking him for a selfie. Said, sir, one selfie, please, sir, please, sir. So I caught one of them. Hey, you come here. Who is he? Hello, candy floss. He is roaming here and there and taking selfie. He's a very big star. I have never seen him on TV. No, he's a star on TikTok. So anyways, so there is a community of maybe 3-4 million losers, out of which the biggest losers have these all followers, and that is how the community is trying to build. Yeah, yeah, and I called it as losers, influencers, synonyms. Okay. Now these TikTokers are coming to YouTube. Don't watch it. Simple. You have a choice, no, what to watch and what not to watch. They can't influence your choice, right? So plastic ban, TikTok ban. I wish I could have written that, but I will not. Okay. Next, firecracker ban. Firecracker ban in Delhi. The Delhi pollution was rising, right? So when it was rising at such an extreme level that government or Supreme Court had no other option but to ban the firecrackers. No, Sai. Drugs ban, smog, harmful colors. Correct. So you know all these points, right? Next, in case of pollution tax or Pigouvian tax, now what do you exactly mean by this? Guys, there are two types of vehicles which are sold in the market. I'm assuming it to be petrol and diesel vehicles. I'm not including electric vehicles or CNG for the time being. So in petrol and diesel vehicles, can you tell me which one is more expensive if you wish to buy? Which cars are more expensive, petrol cars or diesel cars? The correct answer is diesel cars. Diesel cars are more expensive than petrol cars. So if let's suppose, Smriti, you want to buy Honda City, but that will be petrol version. So it will cost you 12 lakh rupees, 12 to 13 lakh rupees. But similarly, if Smriti wants to buy same Honda City, but not IV Tech, but ID Tech, that is nothing but diesel version of it. So same car, same horsepower, same everything, it will cost you around 16 to 16.5 lakhs. Now, why there is an additional 3 to 4 lakh rupees which is charged on diesel vehicles? It is the tax, the additional tax, which is charged on diesel cars. And why is it so? Because diesel cars are more polluting as compared to petrol cars. Understood? So which is that tax? That is nothing but pollution tax. So that people don't buy more of diesel cars and they buy more of petrol cars or electric vehicles or CNG or bullock cart, whatever. Okay. So government is trying to discourage. So this is diesel cars. Yes, I will get. Nikhil, petrol is more expensive when you want to buy. Diesel is cheaper. And petrol gives less average as compared to diesel. I wish, Someshwar. Okay. Now, friends, anyone in the class who is having a vehicle in your family, which is, old more than 15 years, a vehicle older than 15 years, anyone in the class? Which one is that? If you can tell me in the chat box, which one is that? Santro, wow. 25. Jay, whenever I come, wherever my lecture is, I will come and I'll have a ride. Okay, RX 100, Maruti 800. Wow, Alto, Vespa scooter you are having, bike Hero Honda Splendor. My goodness, I was looking out for 1, 2 examples. You have given me so many. Bajaj Chetak. Those who are having Chetak, friends, it was my first scooter on which I learned driving or riding, not driving, riding. Wow. So now when you are having all these products, maybe Hero Honda Splendor, 15-year-old, maybe Pulsar, Chetak, RX 100. Once it crosses 15 years, are you aware about it that you will have to file a registration with the RTO again? Right? Without that, you cannot ride it or drive it. And at that time, RTO will give you passing papers for 5 years. Okay, then again after 5 years, you will have to revisit RTO. That's the norm. Friends, tell me one thing. When you visit to RTO, at that time they charge a particular amount. What is that called as? Are you aware about it? Very good, Vishal. That is called as green tax. So now what RTO calls as green tax, we call it as pollution tax. Understood, friends, now very clearly? So whenever, if you are causing more pollution in the environment, to discourage the level of pollution in the economy, Government of India will charge tax, which will be called as pollution tax. Okay. So in the second point, you can just write down example of vehicles older than 15 years. Now, friends, when we are talking about pollution tax, in case of pollution tax, there will be certain advantages and certain disadvantages. What say? Do you agree to this? So when we talk about pollution tax, money can't replace the effects of pollution. Yes, Shri, that's true. Just 1 minute. I think there is some error in the screen. Has the screen become blank in front of you? Like, is it okay? I don't know what has happened. I will try to save this. If I close it, then whatever is written side will be gone. And I don't want to lose that right now. Ah, done. Friends, in case of pollution tax, I would like your help. I don't want to refer to the points which are, you know, book. I want to refer to the points which are there in your mind. Can we do that? Right? So, I'm just giving you a heading. Pollution tax. So let's say arguments in favor of pollution tax, that is advantages, and we will have disadvantages. So advantages and disadvantages. So Tanishka, I'll take your point. In advantages, you are saying there will be less pollution. What else? Will demote the usage of inefficient machines and vehicles. Cost rises, so people buy more. Very good, Rahul. Sorry, so people buy less. Government revenue increases. Interesting, Krishna. Yes, promotes different types of innovation over here. Correct. Saves cost as people use public transport. Correct. Encourages people to look for alternatives. Okay. No cap on tax. Okay. Introduce producers to go for sustainable development. That's an important one. Sustainable development. Friends, out of these 6 points, not even a single one is from me. All the points are given by you. Now, similarly, how you have given advantages. Can we have a look at the disadvantages also? Correct. So let's talk about disadvantages now. Okay. So disadvantages. First one, I like this point, cannot be exactly measured. So it is difficult. to determine and administer. People's choice is affected. Okay. Accumulation of more scrap. My goodness. Amazing. Yeah. Most of the important production. Okay. Misuse of government transport. They cannot even still stop them. Very good, Mahesh. That's right. People may change their place of production. Less factories are started. Increase in or a decrease in GDP. That's very nice. Less production will affect GDP and employment. Very good point. Cost of consumers increase because the sellers will pass on this tax to the customers. Lot of wastage. Okay, Someshwar. That's a very interesting point, Manvi. It will also encourage the level of inflation. What else? No practical solution. Because even after paying, people will be still polluting only, no? So it is not a practical solution. What else? Very good. Jay, that's correct. It will discourage the level of investment if there are high level of taxes on these products. Fantastic. You have performed really very well. That's amazing. Right? So this is what, happens when you try thinking. So in this kind of questions, you have complete liberty. You can write your own answers also. But friends, let me tell you, you have given me around 40 to 50 points. Out of that, I have selected 6, which are the most appropriate one. So these are the important ones. After this, you can write 1 or 2 of your choice. That is completely fine. Okay. I hope you are very clear in this part. That is our pollution tax. Now there is one small diagram in case of pollution tax. Okay, we are now entirely focusing only on pollution tax for the time being. So please write down market outcome of pollution tax. I just give me some time. Market outcome of pollution tax. Oh, you are okay. I'm sorry, I was not aware you have not copied it. You can copy it, no problem. I will wait for 1 minute here. Just copy down these points. You were busy typing, I forgot. No problem, just copy it down. It is difficult to determine and administer, Rona. Like how can you calculate tax of pollution? How much damage you are causing to the environment. It's difficult. Done? Cost of consumer increases means now because of taxes, customer will have to pay higher amount, so they buy less. Fourth point in advantages, government revenue increases. No, Someshwar, not required. Done, friends? Okay. Please give the next heading. It is market outcome of pollution tax. Market outcome of pollution tax. Now, what exactly does this mean? Market outcome of pollution tax. It means, let's suppose if we are imposing pollution tax, then what will happen to the price and quantity of the product? Do you remember one diagram we had studied in unit number 2 that was comprising of marginal private cost, social cost, marginal private benefit? Do you recollect that? So today it is going to be the revision of that particular diagram. So especially this will be a very big advantage for the students who were absent in the last lecture. This lecture will also include the previous lecture's explanation. Okay. But those who are present, for you it will be a revision better. So it's a win-win situation. So please write down, please make two axes. Y-axis, X-axis. On Y-axis, we shall be having cost and benefit. On X-axis, it will be quantity. Cost and benefit and quantity. First one, do you remember the marginal private cost? MPC, downward sloping or upward sloping? Upward sloping, because as we go on producing more and more, the cost will go on increasing. So it will be an upward sloping curve, something like this. So this becomes our MPC, marginal private cost. Then next part would be MPB, marginal private benefit. As we go on producing or consuming more and more, the benefit goes on declining. So the downward sloping curve, similar to demand curve, correct? So this will be our MPB. Now, if you observe, then this is our equilibrium quantity and this is our equilibrium price. Now, equilibrium point. E. That is PQ represents market failure. Do you agree to this? This is a market failure. Sir, but this is equilibrium, no? Yeah. But in this equilibrium, we have not taken into consideration the social cost. That's why it's a market failure. Now in this case, friends, the damaging part is that the social cost is greater than marginal private cost. Hello, correct, no? So if this is my marginal social cost, so at this point quantity Q, I am getting the new equilibrium here. Let's suppose this is nothing but T. So ET is my external cost. ET is my external cost. Now this external cost represents what? So this red shaded region represents my loss of social welfare. The shaded region here represents my loss of social welfare. Understood? Now, when we are talking about loss of social welfare, so our point T is the excessive cost that we have to incur. Now, friends, in this case, what do you expect our government to do? What do you want the price to be? More or less? What do you want quantity to be? More or less? Price should be what and quantity should be what? Price should be, show me in the action, price should be more. Very good. And quantity should be less. Perfect. That's the solution. So government has to do something because of which the price of the product increases, but the people's willingness to buy decreases. That means the quantity decreases. Friends, tell me one thing. When will the price increase? Will the producer increase the price on their own? No, because they will lose out on the customers. So government will have to penalize them, put an additional burden of tax. So government charges them with pollution tax. Which tax? Pollution tax. So pollution tax will be borne by whom? The producers or the society? Producers, no? Why society has to bear the tax? If one person is, consuming the cigarette, should I be paying the tax on behalf of him? The person who is consuming the cigarette, he should be or she should be paying the tax, no? Why society should be penalized? Now, if I am consuming alcohol and Kavya has to make the tax, pay the taxes, how does it make any logic? Are you understanding? So if I am a smoker and if you have to pay the tax on behalf, what is the sense in that? The smoker has to pay the tax, isn't it? So that pollution tax has to be levied on what? Private cost. Do you agree to this? The producers. So if on private cost tax is added, what will happen to private cost? Will it be the same? Will it decline or will it increase? After taxes, it will increase, yes or no? Because it will be private cost plus tax. So now after levying tax, what will happen to the private cost? It will go up. If it goes up, then we will be deriving a new curve, which would be something like this. Have a look at it. So what is this green line, friends? This green line represents MPC plus the tax which is charged. Now, after introduction of MPC plus tax, we get a new equilibrium point, that is equilibrium E1. Do you agree to this? Now look at this E1 very carefully, students. Later on you can copy it. Don't worry about the copying part. Just have have your complete attention here. At equilibrium point E1, what is happening to our Q? That is quantity. Quantity is declining from Q to Q1. And look at the price. Price increased from P to P1. Is this exactly what you asked for? Correct, no? Mission accomplished. Okay, so please copy this now, and I'll write a small statement so that you understand this diagram whenever you are revising. After introduction of pollution tax, after introduction of pollution tax, MPC will increase and shift upwards. And shift upwards. Which will give us new equilibrium E1 and price P1, comma quantity Q1. P1 Q1 represents less quantity at high price less quantity at high price, which will protect society from loss of social welfare. Full stop. Please complete this. Yes, Vansh. Now, friends, those who were absent yesterday, they need to revisit the lectures first. The recorded lectures you will have to view to understand MPB, MPC. Okay. Is it necessary that cost is incurred? Jay, that was different thing. Akshita, that is the benefit curve, basically representing demand curve, which is downward sloping. Let me know once you have completed. Pollution tax differs from quantity to quantity, Someshwar. For diesel vehicles, it is different. Green tax, it is different. For cigarettes, it is different. Right? So for all these products, it will be different. Okay. Yes, Shweta. Next part is tradable emissions permit. Now, what do you mean by tradable emissions permit? Well, if you want to produce a particular commodity which is causing pollution in the market or damaging the environment, creating negative externality basically, first extreme step is ban. If government cannot ban, then it is pollution tax. But if government cannot even put a pollution tax, then comes cap and trade system, that is tradable emissions permit. So this is a permission which is given to the manufacturers, limiting, putting a cap on how much they can produce. It is basically a licensing system which is given that you can produce, but only up to this limit. So for example, sir, let's suppose if Vansh is a steel manufacturer, okay, and Asha is also a steel manufacturer. Vansh, for manufacturing or producing steel, has to apply to government. Government will give him permission how much he can produce. So he applies to the government. Government says, once depending upon the capacity, size, and the requirement of our entire nation, you are eligible for production of 8,000 tons of steel. Okay. Asha madam also applied. She got permission of 12,000 tons because comparatively, let's suppose Asha is having a larger unit. But something different happened. Vansh got excessive orders, and by the month of December, he had exhausted his limit of 8,000 ton unit. Now, can he produce more than that even if he gets orders? The answer is no. He will have to wait because the license has expired. He goes to the government, asks the government, please allow me. Government says, please come back in April. But Asha, out of that 12,000 tons of production capacity, she is left with 1,000 capacity excess. So she is having emissions permit worth 1,000 tons. What can happen in this case? Asha can sell that permit to Vansh. Sir, is it allowed? Yes. That's why it is not called as emissions permit. It is called as, look at the first word, tradable emissions permit. That means it can be traded. Understood, friends? So this kind of mechanism is introduced, which we call it as tradable emissions permit, or we also call it as cap and trade system. I hope you are very clear in this. We can write down the example of steel manufacturing firms here. So steel industry, coal mining, iron ore, and so on. Okay. So now we have pollution tax advantages and disadvantages. Similarly, in cap and trade system, also we will have some advantages and disadvantages. So please write down. Tradable emissions permit. Now, disadvantages, these are all hidden answers actually. They are not visible answers when you are reading the material. Many students tend to skip this part. And ICI understands the student psychology, so they exactly target there. So this kind of questions are very common, but at the same time very easy. But if you don't know the answer, then it becomes difficult. That's why I'm giving you all the points, students. So once you read this material, everything will be there in your head. Okay. So we will quickly write down, students, what are the advantages and disadvantages. Yes, Ronald, that's right. In advantages, please write down first point. Rewards flexibility and efficiency. Rewards flexibility. That means you can be more flexible in your operations. One can be more flexible if he can purchase it from another. Asha, if she doesn't require, she can sell it. It rewards efficiency also. If you are efficient in production of steel in this year, next year government can think of giving you a higher limit in that. Next one, point number 2. Puts a limit on pollution. In taxes, when you are paying tax, it doesn't actually stop you from polluting. You will still pollute, right? You will say, I'm paying taxes, so I can pollute as much as I want, no problem. But in this case, the limit itself is put. That's an advantage. Point number 3. Administratively, cheap and simple. It is very easy to implement, students, because government will give permission. So they will come and take the permission. You need not have administration cost for that. Next, leads to innovation. Now, because petrol diesel vehicles have limit on the production, that how much they can produce. Diesel vehicles, government also puts price, this cap and trade system on that. So in that scenario, they have innovated and they have come up with a new type of vehicle altogether, that is electronic vehicle. Yes or no? So this is how innovation can be brought into picture because of this methodology. Similarly, we have certain disadvantages. Please write down. First one, in reality, doesn't protect the environment. What does this mean? See, even if you are putting cap and trade system, still environment is getting damaged only, no? Now you can't say that, environment is being protected. Environment is damaged only. Right? Next, point number 2. Black marketing and corruption. This is self-explanatory. Black marketing will take place, corruption. This is what we have already seen. Many of you must have seen live also. Corruption, black marketing. This is not new to Indians. Come on. Next. In case of inelastic demand, burden will be shifted on consumers. So consumers end up paying a higher price for that. Done, friends, everyone? That completes our entire negative externalities. Ban, pollution tax, as well as tradable emissions permit. Comfortable till here? No stress? Okay. The last part, it is nothing but positive externalities. Now, friends, tell me what will happen in case of positive externalities? What will government do in case of positive externality? It will give more subsidies, it will promote, it will help the companies, yes or no? So in positive externality, there is only one thing that you have to remember and write. And that is government will try to give more and more subsidies. Now subsidies include everything. It includes promotion, it includes the encouragement, everything is taken into consideration. Now, when we talk about subsidies, why would government give subsidies on positive externality? What does government think? Because government wants to provide benefit to less number of people or more number of people? More number of people, right? So basically government is giving subsidies because it wants to increase the social benefit. Am I right when I'm saying this? Government wants to give subsidies because government wants to increase the level of social benefit. So whatever benefit is given to the society, that should expand. More people should be benefited out of it. That's why government gives subsidies. Sir, for example, let's suppose Sri Prasanna starts a school. Okay. Now in that school, he gives most priority to discipline, ethics, training, development, practical knowledge, and sports, of course. So all these things are prioritized by Shri, resulting to more participations, more scientists, thank you, coming from Shri school. Okay. More Olympic athletes coming from school of Shri. Now tell me, don't you think government will definitely observe this? And let me tell you, he is doing all of this at a very nominal rate. See, at free, nothing is possible. Okay. Only English school? No, Himanshu. Students are free to select their language, whatever they are comfortable in. In fact, a teacher like me would always focus on studying Sanskrit, studying Tamil. These are ancient languages of our country. We should not forget that. You know, unfortunately, we have given importance to other languages so much that we have forgotten our own language. So that's the problem. I think Tamil, Sanskrit, then some other regional languages. We are busy in studying French. We are studying Japanese. See, when you are in Hyderabad, who is going to talk with you in Japanese? Only if you are talking to drunkards. They will talk like that. That is not a problem. So all these things should be avoided. So now, Shri has created such an environment. Should government support him or no? Yes, definitely. Right? So government gives subsidies so that more and more children should get the opportunity which is created by Shri. So more of social benefit. So this is a positive externality. We are creating a beautiful environment. Right? So how this will be presented in the form of diagram, that we need to understand. Okay, so please write down effect of government subsidy. The name of the diagram is effect of government subsidy. We will be having y-axis, x-axis. Here on y-axis, we will be having cost and benefit. On x-axis, we are having quantity. MPC curve. It is upward sloping curve. But now tell me one thing. Here MPC will be equal to MSC. This I had explained you yesterday in case of positive externality. Marginal private cost will be equal to marginal social cost. Convinced with this? This will be MPB, marginal private benefit, equilibrium quantity, equilibrium price. So right now, Shri is able to, help so quantity, Q quantity students and at price P. Now, if government comes and says, she provide benefit to more people. So what will happen because of that? Can I say social benefit will be more than the private benefit? So if it is more, it will move to the right. Correct? Yes, Karina, that's right. So in this scenario, what has happened? See, the quantity has increased from Q to Q1. But friends, there is a problem. If Shri has to provide education to more number of students, he will require additional classroom, additional teachers, additional equipment. So his cost will definitely increase. So he will have no other option but to increase the price. But government says, beta, don't worry. Don't take it from the people. Take it from us in the form of subsidies. So here, though it looks like the price has increased. See, price has increased. But government will say this doesn't exist at all. Don't worry. You have to sell only at the original price P because additional cost will be borne by the government in the form of subsidy. So more quantity at the prevailing price will help Shri in developing more and more education in the country, which will help our economy to grow and protect us from market failure. Let me know if you have understood everything nicely. Sure, complete this diagram, please, and then we go ahead. Let me know once you have completed. You can write the note in your own words below that government will be providing subsidy so that you remember whenever you are studying. Madam Ankita, you were absent it seems yesterday. Benefit curve is nothing but the willingness of a customer, what customer is willing to pay. So as you are getting more quantity, you will be willing to pay less because you are getting less benefit now due to increase in quantity. So it will be downward sloping. This we studied yesterday very much in detail, cost, benefit curves. Okay, Ankita, no problem. All right, once. Can I turn the page? Can we go ahead? If you're comfortable now. Yeah, perfect. Let's go ahead. Please give the heading. Government intervention. Now, when we are talking about government intervention, we are going to now talk about two different types of goods. One is merit goods. Second one is demerit goods. What is the meaning of merit goods? These are socially desirable goods. Good for the society, correct. So in the bracket, we will write down socially desirable goods. Example given would be education, healthcare, etc., etc. And demerit goods means socially undesirable goods. Example would be alcohol, tobacco products, etc. Okay. Now, friends, when we talk about merit goods, there is a lot of information that rotates around, which we call it as incomplete information. Many people are of a belief that government schools are always bad. Government, or let's suppose the healthcare sector is not proper, or education sector is not proper. Many a cases you will find this thought process also. Sending child to a school is waste of time. Sending child to a college, it is waste of time. Or many people also have this. Once the girl studies, she will go out of hand. Don't do that, right? Once this child is studying, they won't handle your business. Am I right? This kind of thought process was there. For example, a tailor in a rural area would never send his child to a school. Why? Because then he won't carry on his legacy of becoming a poor tailor. No. So all these incomplete or wrong information is spread in the society, because of which our merit goods are not able to reach out to the people. Then there is inequality in access also, right? If let's suppose only private goods are available in merit goods, think about it. Only private goods in merit goods. What will happen? Only rich will be able to get the benefit. Will poor class be able to get the advantage? No, that's the problem. So incomplete information is there in case of merit goods. Unequal distribution is there in case of merit goods. There is a lot of uncertainty that today it is provided. We don't know whether it will be provided in the future or no. So there are so many uncertainties, so many problems in merit goods that government has no other option but to intervene. But now when government is intervening in case of merit goods, what will government exactly do? When we are talking about government intervention, what will government exactly do when we are talking about intervention? Will it promote schools? Will it promote the private hospitals? See, private hospitals, private schools, they are vultures. I'm scared at times to see, the first standard or the second standard fees is more than the CA final fees that we offer. Am I joking, or this is reality? This is harsh truth. Once I was rethinking about my career also. Should I actually come every day in front of all the students and talk about economy, talk about, types of goods, how market should be stabilized? Instead, I could just do, come on, students, twinkle, twinkle, little star, and still earn in lakhs of rupees. UKG is 65,000 rupees, Khushi is saying. And see, we all come from different parts of the country. Still, we are experiencing this. This is nonsense. Right? A poor person can proudly do chartered accountancy today. Can they become doctors? Can they become engineers today? It is chartered accountancy is most economical course in the world, and it is kept at, see, what do you think? ICI can't charge fees like CFA or what? Will you not pay if they say 60,000 rupees or 70,000 rupees or 1 lakh rupees the CA foundation course fee? You will still pay, no? But they think about the poor people. Right? And we are So glad that we are associated with such an institution that cares about, actually, it tries to bring equality in the nation. Gender is not discriminated. Income is not discriminated. Right? And in registration amount also, if student is facing difficulty, there also concession will be given. You have to just get a signature verified from chartered accountant. That's it. No reservation, correct? We are away from all these tortures so that we can focus on only one thing, and that is education, proper education. I've told you this many times, friends. Again, I am saying this. Take the advantage of this facility which is there in front of you. Don't take it lightly. You are in the best possible hands. You are getting the best possible things in life. We are so privileged, students, you have no idea about it. Today, there are people in the country who are struggling for food. Fortunately, once we complete this course, that will never be the scenario in our life. Your struggle, you will also be struggling in life. Let me tell you, after completing your chartered accountancy, but your struggle will be different. My God, I want to buy Mercedes. I am not sure about which color. Should I go for space gray or blood red? So much stress I am getting. I was not able to sleep because of that. Right? You're talking to your friends who are also a chartered accountant, let's suppose. Where you are giving me unnecessary stress. Tell me, fast, where we are going for the trip. Are we going to Europe or are we going to Africa for jungle safari? If you do this, then you all go, okay? I don't care. I'll go alone to Maldives. This should be the stress in your life. My goodness, Sai, I wish I could have said that. Sai is trying to go somewhere else. Naughty boy. Okay. No, no, no. Alone to Maldives. Yeah, you can go, no problem. One of my friend went there alone. He said that was the best trip of my life. Las Vegas. I've heard it is amazing. I've never been there. It's very near from my house actually, but still I don't go. So anyway, so moral of the story is you have to work hard, become a chartered accountant, get good money, and grow in life. What else do you need here? Come on. Once you are rich, everything will fall in place. Correct, no? Right. So, yeah. What you are saying, Someshwar? California to Maldives, just 1 hour trip. Arey, I can bring Maldives to my house in 1 minute's time. So much talent you are, I am having. At 0 rupees, correct? We want rich people problems. Yeah, I agree. It is always better to cry in a Ferrari than crying on a railway platform. See, even if you want to have trouble, have it in Ferrari at least. Right? Wiping tears with money. Correct. Issue that, use that at tissue paper. We won't do that, of course. This is just saying. Right? But whatever it is. So become ultra rich. That is the aim. Yes, I correct. So friends, in case of merit goods, government will have to intervene. But when government intervenes, government will do what? Government will give subsidies. Ille? No. Government will start providing, the, the services by itself. Okay, how? Let's talk about that. Rishabh is saying giving tip of 2000 rupees. Let me tell you, Rishabh, if it is your hard-earned money, no, but I mean, it will be definitely. At that time, you will realize you will never give that. I will tell you why. You know, I heard this story which was of Bill Gates. Okay, I'm sure you must have heard that also, right? So Bill Gates' daughter goes to a restaurant. So the waiter is very happy. Why? Because he gets $500 as a tip. Why? Because it is Bill Gates' daughter. Next day, Bill Gates visits the same restaurant. So now waiter is even more excited. He says, now today I'll be getting more tip. If the daughter can give 500, imagine what father will give. Bill Gates gave only $5. When the waiter approached Bill Gates and said, sir, your daughter gave 500 rupee tip. You gave only $5. You are the richest man on earth. Still, he said, yeah. She is the daughter of the richest man on earth. I am the son of a farmer. So I can't afford that much of tip. If you don't want, give it back. I will eat a McDonald's burger in the evening. De baba, give it. He said, no, let it be. Go. Okay. Correct. Never forget your roots. Will CA work for 20,000 per month? Janvi, never. Never, ever, 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 never. Right? This is a wrong information. Minimum, I think, minimum. At the lowest, in any part of the country, it is 50,000 rupees. At remotest location, I am saying, okay. Then if you go to, metropolitan where you are there already, it can 77. This is all minimum beta, okay? Don't get me wrong. In fact, I always say this. Lack of awareness, Danish. I always say this. The first quarter salary that you get will be covering your entire expenditure on chartered accountancy that you have done. Return on investment is the highest. So one small request to all of you. If possible, please encourage your juniors to take up this course. If they take two right decisions in their life will be completely made. These two decisions will help them in making their life. Two decisions are very simple. First decision is to take chartered accountancy, CA. Second decision is to take chartered accountancy at JKSC. Rest, everything will be taken care of. So now you know, right, what to do next. So spread a word. Tell it to your friends. Yeah. Free marketing. Yes, of course, I am doing that, but proudly, because people are spreading today so much of bad things. Why can't we spread good things? Right? You want commission? Mirko commission. I get blessings as commission here. I'm very happy in my life. When I look at the amount of peace that I have in my mind, all this what I get. Right? So you will also get that. Don't worry. You want party, I'll give it to you. Don't worry. That's on me. JKC is not listed. I don't think sir will get it listed, because then the control passes on from the owner. So the level of discipline that sir believes in, I don't think he will ever do that. Okay, that's great. Yeah, Somisho, that's great. So you will become an inspiration for others, no? See, someday someday you looked at other person and then you joined a course or a class. Today others will look at you. So we as a community have to be very strong. Come on, yeah. Right? Are you teaching economics for foundation? I'm not sure about it. Foundation, actually, I teach very rarely. I teach foundation. I'm not saying I don't. However, I teach very less. On YouTube, I do it generally. I'm mostly into inter. Okay, yeah. So if I am doing that, of course, I will tell you. Yeah. Yes, Someshwar, I am. Yes, Rishabh. Yes, I take revision lectures, right? Yes. Okay. So now we are having merit goods and demerit goods here, friends. Merit and demerit goods. So government will start providing the merit goods. Now, when I say government will start providing merit goods, means there will be government hospitals, there will be government schools. Yes or no? Sir, why is government provide? Because if they don't, the private sector will charge a very high price. So because we don't want our public to be exploited, we will go for government goods. Will government provide at free of cost? People don't value free. Right? But will it be a very high price similar to what private sector is charging? No, it will be a very basic charge. See, even if government is making losses, they will charge a very nominal fee, because if it is for free, people will start taking advantage of it. Imagine if hospitals start treating for free, they give you bed for free. If they give you, 2 times food also for free, people will go on a 6 months vacation twice in a year to hospitals. Do you agree to this or no? Right? Free bus services. Everyone will park their vehicle, stop, and even would they would have walked easily, they will go and take the bus services, or they will take the train services. So it will be jam packed. You will start getting free massages everywhere. Right? So crowded everywhere. So government should not give everything for free. Some nominal charge has to be there. So in case of merit goods, what is happening? How much charge will be there? So let's talk about this. So there is one y-axis and x-axis. On y-axis, we are going to write down price. On x-axis, it will be quantity. This is for merit. Yes, Rishabh. Demerit, I have not even started now, Rishabh. Okay. So now, see this product, this quantity which government is selling, no, it is perfectly inelastic. Go slow in this one. Perfectly inelastic means it will not be influenced because of price. Just because you are having more money, that doesn't mean you will get a hospital bed in municipal hospital. Are you getting this? Just because you have more money, that doesn't mean you will get admission into government college. Hello? Getting this? Yeah, it's true. 100% true. 100% true. Whatever we are understanding is practical. My friend, tell me one thing. Don't you think this is the supply which government has? Perfectly inelastic, unaffected by price. But if government starts charging a very high price, at that time, can I say demand will be very low? And if government starts giving for free, oh my God, demand will be unimaginable. Because we are living in a country, friends, where even people commit crime so that they can get to stay in jail. Friends, correct me if I'm wrong. In Chennai, they give idli sambar, or they used to give for 1 rupee. Is that correct? Amma Hotel, Amma Canteen, 1 rupee idli sambar. How many idlis you get? One idli? 2 rupees they take. Okay. 3 idlis. 1 idli per rupee. Okay. And you get sambar on that. 5 rupees you get parota korma. Curd rice is 20 rupees. Many a times it happens, so you will find drunkards, you will find beggars. They beg, make money, and then they go to this canteen. They give 1 rupee, eat, give 5 rupees, eat very nicely, and then again come outside, drink, and start begging. My dear friends, do you think this serves the purpose? Huh? You see beggars on the street. You all have seen beggars on the street, on the highways, on the signals. Yes or no? Government has not seen. Police officials don't see that. They turn blind when we see that. Catch all of them, right? Put them under a factory and tell them you have to manufacture this, you will get money. But if you are found again begging, we will put you behind bars and we will not give you food for 10 days. All these people will start working. See, I'm not being cruel. It is reality. We have to do that. Right? So supply today is perfectly inelastic. But because these people get free facilities, they go to hospital, take free facility. They don't send their children to school. Then these children end up in wrong businesses, damage our society, and still get the food at 5 rupees. Can you please tell me what is my fault? Why I am penalized for that, people? Why 30% from my income is taken every month out and given to these people? Just because I am working hard every day. It is so easy to penalize me, is it? See, understand from people's point of view. Then the talented pool of country will leave India, no? Don't you think this thought would have not come in my mind? I would say I would go to Canada, yeah. I'll go to Dubai. But if all the talented people of the country start leaving this country, who will develop this country then? All the teachers who are teaching right now are more than efficient to work in any country of the world. But still we all have made the choice to teach, to stay back here. Don't you think our families don't criticize this decision? My father even tells me, I have never seen an idiot like you who would leave a high, corporate paying job and work like this. I said, it is just perception. But understand, government can give only can do only limited things. I hope you're understanding what I'm trying to say. Government can do only limited things, friends. And for that, they cannot give everything for free. Or else there will be very high level of demand. So here, if I want to make a demand curve, the demand curve, demand curve will look something like this. Let me pull it down. Will look something like this. Do you agree to this? When the price is very high, the demand is very low. You see this price is high. Demand is only this much. See this dabba which I have made here, this box which I have made. This is representing price and demand. You need not draw that because I'm going to erase it anyway. But if the price is, let's suppose, very low, price is very low, then at that time demand will be very high. which government will not be able to fulfill. And if government is not able to fulfill the demand, what people do, they start criticizing the government. Again, we are living in a country which cares about, which cries that, government, what you are doing, prices are increasing. From last 5 years, you are saying the same thing. Rather, you could have increased your income in this last 5 years. Prices are meant to increase every year. Yeah. You don't have to focus on the increase in price. You have to focus on increasing your income. Are you getting this? Right? So, what will be the ideal price? It will be the equilibrium of demand and supply. That is this point. Let's suppose this price will be nothing but the price which will be set by government in case of merit goods. Recently, 4,000 people due to COVID. Yes, Danish, these are all our taxes, my friend. What to do? Very clear in this part, hope so. Quickly, we will have a look at the demerit goods also. Now, when we talk about demerit goods, friends, please understand. The first thing that government do in demerit goods, they can ban it. What are the various solutions in case of demerit goods? That's what I'm talking about. Okay. So first one will be complete ban. Has government done that, sir? In case of drugs, they have. Drugs is also a demerit good. Sir, alcohol is on. I'm not saying that everything will be banned. I'm saying ban is an option. Are you understanding? Ban is an option. So they have banned some products. One more. Correct, Danish. That's the point. One more thing. Yes, Satvik, that is also there. Correct, Tanishka. I'll explain you that. So first thing is ban that we can do. But if everything we go on banning, where will government get income from? Because we are living in a country, again, people evade taxes. The poor does it because of ignorance, not the poor. Not the poor. Poor has, poor doesn't pay tax. The people who are rich but are illiterate, they do it because of ignorance. But the people who are rich and literate, they try to find out the loopholes in the same system and try to evade the taxes. Correct? So if everything is banned, where will government get money from? No. So government, what else government can do? So second one which government can do, it is negative advertisement campaigns. Mukesh, do you know Mukesh? Mukesh comes before every movie, says the story, right? So it is negative advertisement campaigns. Next one, taxes can be imposed. Next one, regulatory control can be imposed. Regulatory control means put an age limit. And last one, put a minimum price on this product. Put a minimum price on these products. Now, what is minimum price towards? How it is determined? So government would say, I would fix a minimum price below which you cannot sell tobacco or alcohol. How it is determined, sir, that we will have to see in a diagram. So last diagram and last topic for the day. Okay. So let's begin. I'm taking a new page, friends. If you are having a proper space here, you can make there. No problem. If you are not having space, just give another heading the way I am doing. It is outcome of minimum price. outcome of minimum price for a demerit good. Done? Now, what is this outcome of minimum price? Again, we will be making y-axis, x-axis. On y-axis, we will be having cost and benefit. X-axis, we are having quantity. Okay. Usual practice. Okay. Here, what we are going to do is our MPC, MPB. You remember all these curves now, right? So you take the lead. I will just follow. Sounds okay to all of you? Yeah. So first draw the MPC curve. I will follow you. Correct, Mahesh. Okay. So this is the curve that you have made, a simple line. MPC. I hope you are all taking the help of scale, okay? Or even if you're drawing that freehand drawing, please practice it with scale once. MPB curve, MPB curve, downward sloping. Hold on. Now, what if I tell you this MPC is equal to MSC? I'm sure you will not be convinced. Sir, this is a demerit good, sir. In case of demerit good, social cost will be greater than private cost, no? Yeah. So this is the private cost, MPC. Don't draw anything, okay? Now, when I add MPC plus tax, that means it will increase and it will be equal to MSC. So the MPC that you have drawn in your notebook, just have a look at it. The MPC that you have drawn in your notebook, it is MPC plus tax. Tax is already included in that. Now, will it be equal to MSC? Sure. I've already included tax in that. So that's why here I will name this as MPC is equal to MSC because this is nothing but after tax. Any doubts? Understood? No, see, simple. I could have drawn MPC then MSC. What I have done is directly shown you the MSC is equal to MPC because it is after tax. So that we directly ignore one topic. Okay. Now, this will be the equilibrium. This is the equilibrium quantity. And this is the equilibrium price, isn't it? Equilibrium quantity and equilibrium price. Now, already tax has been imposed. Already tax has been. This is after tax. Now what to do? Government has already imposed taxes. Government says, wait, baby. We have checked MPC. We have checked MSC. We have also checked private benefit, but we have not checked the social benefit. So let's check social benefit also. Friends, you only tell me, in case of negative goods, in case of demerit goods, social benefit will be more than private benefit or it will be less than private benefit? It will be less than private benefit. So it will be towards the left, towards downside. So now if I want to draw one more curve here, it will be this one. What is this, sir? This is nothing but MSB. marginal social benefit. But sir, if a drunkard is consuming alcohol, what is my benefit? If a smoker is smoking, what is my benefit? When they contribute to the taxes, we get beautification of roads. So some benefit is there, but of course it will be lesser than what producers are making the benefit, or the consumers are getting the benefit. So it will be less than the private benefit. So now look at the new equilibrium. According to this new equilibrium, this becomes our quantity Q. Quantity Q1, do you agree to this? But friends, don't you think now there is a small problem? If we check out the the MSB equilibrium, the quantity will be falling, that's true, but the price will also fall, no? Government says, hold on, baby. Quantity we will determine by MSB, but price let it be determined by MPB. How, sir? Take it ahead to this point, and you will be fixing a price which is this level. So fix the price which will be P1, and this red line, the minimum price. So what has happened now? After government intervention, new price is P1, which is the minimum price, and new quantity is Q1. What does this mean? This means the price has increased and quantity has decreased even further. Done, friends, done, everyone. This completes our government intervention in case of merit as well as demerit goods. So many things we have understood today, students. You have no idea. So many concepts. And let me tell you, you have done really well. I was impressed in two parts, I will tell you. First one is the advantages and disadvantages that you understood about the pollution tax, and that is how you are one of the rarest batches where I have got so many points. Second one, the understanding of the curves and the diagram. It is just amazing. Keep it up. This is to encourage you, but don't be overconfident. Okay, when you meet anyone for the first time, they look very cute. But don't forget, humans have more layers than onions. Okay, and economics has more layers than humans. So don't fall under a trap by just looking at this onion, because it looks very cute from outside, but when you go inside, it makes you cry. So please do revise and come in the next lecture. All right. So that is it for today. Thank you so much. God bless you all. This is Chirag sir signing off. I'll see you again in the next lecture. Bye bye. Take care. Jai Hind, Jai Economics. Bye bye. Khadam. Tada. Okay. Now those who are having doubts, they can start asking. I'll be doing the doubt solving session. And those who are not having doubts, bye. miss me. Chalo, doubts.